Okay. Miguel, importante ang crucial game today against
Siyempre very important. Kami yung naghawak sa faith namin para makapasok sa playoff and must win talaga yung today's game against them.
tingin mo ano yung advantage ng team natin kung meron man.
I guess you just have to play as a unit, as a team. Perfect example no game namin against Converge. Except for the final few minutes. Medyo emotional. Everyone's very emotional. Pero if you play the same way, I think may chance.
We have a game of utmost importance for both these teams seeing action for the San Miguel Beermen. It's all about getting a foot into the quarterfinals on the other side for the TNT Tropang Giga. It's still an option of making it into the top two. That is our story for this matchup. And even though they're on opposite ends, we're expecting a tight battle between SMB and TNT. We welcome you to our coverage here on PBA Rush and Filipinas Live. We are at the tail end of our elimination round in your PBA 49 season Commissioner's Cup. Carlo Paventuan, Coach Ronnie Magsano on the call. Coach Ronnie, it does not get much better than this. Two teams with championship hopes colliding here at this stage.
You talk about championship pedigree, definitely these two teams are in that mode. The winningest team, they stirred the PBA against the team that has been dominant, especially in the previous conference. Let's just take a look at the team standings.
No guarantees yet for the San Miguel Beermen. They need to win here in this match for just a better shot. It's not even a guarantee if they make it to 6-6 that they will head into our quarterfinals for TNT. They still have a shot at finishing in the top two and earning the twice to beat advantage, even if they suffered a shocking loss to the Terrafir Madrid. They were able to bounce back with an equally dominant performance against the Phoenix Hill Masters in their last game.
Dominant, definitely, after losing a shocking blowout match against TNT, or rather to the Perma, they came back quickly, and defensive tenacity was written all over the faces of TNT all from the get-go. Definitely giving up 70 points, a conference low for Phoenix, was the start of something big for TNT. 15 of 16 players scored, plus 11 rebounds, plus 10 in assists. Definitely, the second-year players had a lot to do about the success run for TNT, giving precious rest for players such as RSJ and Calvin Oftana to prepare for the tougher right ahead.
15 three-point shots made at about 48%. It's very difficult to beat TNT when they shoot that well from the outside. For Ronde Hollis Jefferson, uncharacteristic minutes played because he did not have to work too hard in that matchup. They had it in complete control, even in the first half of action, and you were able him for a tougher matchup in SMB.
It was a game that RHJ was hurt in the first quarter, but even if it was outside of the match, the local flavor definitely cooked really well. And as a result, limited minutes, not many shots, but still was a dominant factor whenever he was inside. Confidence low, but it doesn't matter. All that counts is they get to their last win, which was essential for a possible berth in a twice to beat spot. But the most important part, things are still within the control of TNT, something that Coach Chatres has really prepared this team for.
Calvin Oftana has been consistent with his scoring all conference long. Yes, the numbers took a dip against Phoenix, but that's all because he did not have to do too much in that ball game. When there is a need for him to score 20, even 30 points, he can definitely provide those kind of numbers for TNT. 11 and 7, yes, top bar, but again, it was all about the balance of scoring coming from the side of TNT against Phoenix.
And the limited minutes, nearly just 50% of his total floor time. And it is with reason. He didn't have to extend his minutes simply because the rest of the local unit also played extremely well. Sana is among the league's best. We talk about scoring, also the number one rebounder for TNT. We cannot overemphasize the value that he brings to the table for TNT game in and game out.
The San Miguel Beermen picked up an important victory in their last game, but they had to endure a fierce comeback bid coming from the Converge Fiber Xers as they had a shot coming from Brian Santos to try and send that ball game into overtime, even if SMB was in control for much of that matchup.
Making full use out of the opportunity that Justin Arana was not suited up for Converge, and it showed 13-point lead at the end of the first 12 minutes, scoring 70 points in the middle quarters. As you mentioned earlier, had to weather the final firestorm as they were outscored 32-17 in the fourth, but eventually found ways to win. And it's all about finding ways to win for San Miguel as they also are trying to find ways to make it to the playoffs.
Best player of that ball game was Wami Chongson. My goodness, he was fiery from the three-point range, and he hit that crucial one dribble pull-up jumper from the baseline to make sure that they will keep their heads above water in the end game.
Indeed, in only his second start, he was the leading local scorer, by the way, for San Miguel in this all-important matchup. Number 6 in three-point baskets made, number 3 in three-point percentage. From Terra Firma, where he was the number 1 scorer, to San Miguel, where he had to play off the bench right now, logging more minutes, making sure that San Miguel stays in the hunt, showing us capability and accuracy that he has. That's why San Miguel made sure that he now plays for the Beermen starting this conference.
And for more on this matchup, we send it over to Miss Belle Gregorio. Belle?
The biggest difference assistant coach Peter Martin saw from the Beermen in their crucial victory against Converge, playing with a sense of urgency. On the get-go, the Beermen were out to create havoc, and that strong start provided enough cushion for SMB to get away with a victory despite being outscored 52-17 in the fourth. Coach Peter also noted that they were able to lessen their turnovers, which is something that has come to them throughout the conference, something that they cannot take for granted against a team like TNT, who capitalizes on their opponent's mistakes, evident in the Tropang Giga ranking second in turnover points. As for the Beermen to sustain their improved play, we can only wait and see if this will be enough against the Sending it back to you, Carlos Coach John.
Thank you so much for that report, Ms. Belle Gregorio. As we're moments away from the start of this matchup again for SMB, there are no guarantees. Win or lose in this matchup, a spot in the quarterfinals is not yet yours. You still have to wait for the other results of the other matchup. We have to talk about this guy because if you have Rondé Hollis Jefferson playing his fourth conference in the PBA with only one team in TNT, you have an SMB import playing only his fourth game with SMB.
And we also have to mention that he is the fourth reinforcement for San Miguel here in this particular conference. Numbers were quite low in his initial 2 games, 14 points versus Meralco, 4 points, and did not play in the fourth quarter versus Northport. From San Diego State, a breath of fresh air though, in their last win versus Converge. Omnipresent in terms of rebounding, scored heavily as well. Tight, Wami Chongson for scoring honors, but more than that, they tough defense, got the precious rebounds, and hit some crucial baskets down the stretch for the Beermen.
We send it over to our venue announcer for the introductions of our starting unit.
Hi. And also forward is TNT's import, number 24, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Head coach of the Tropang Giga is Chuck Reyes. And now let's meet the starting five of your San Miguel Beermen. Starting at guard from Batangas, number 33, Wabi Chioson. Also at guard from Bautista, Pangasinan, number 77, CJ Perez. And forward is the Beermen's import, number 23, Malik Poe. Also forward from Calamba Laguna. Number 2, Don Galiano. And at center from Pinabangahan, Cebu. Number 15, Junmar Fajardo. Head coach of the Beermen is Leo Austria.
On opposite ends, TNT and SMB, your starters, Nambata, Montana, Williams, Pogoy, and Hollis Jefferson. Coach Reyes on the other side, it's Yongson, Perez, Fajardo, Trollano, and Pope. For Coach Leo Austria, and we are ready to get things going for your second offering. Kilingen, Oliva, Flor de Lisa, and Nicandro will be our game referees. It will be the imports jumping it up at center court. Malik Pope going up against Ronde Hollis Jefferson. Ball is up. The game is live, and this tip-off is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. So Kelly Williams will have the unenviable task of defending Junmar Fajardo to start this ball game. It'll be CJ on the attack. Johnson the kick-out pass. Nambatak saves the loose ball and completes the first stop for TNT, and they're off and running quickly. Pogoy with a slow drive and a one-hander.
RR Pogoy did not score in 3 quarters versus the Firma, but had 9 fourth-quarter points. In their last win against Phoenix, Pogoy was smoking from the get-go, scoring 8 first-quarter points.
And it was noted by Miss Bel Gregorio that this is a team that you do not want to see on the run, talking about TNT, because they pounce on turnovers with fast break points. They also don't shy away from quick threes, such as that one, but it was missed by Nambata. Orliano goes to the short corner. Kick out pass. Chongson. Football movement coming from SMB. Does not lead to a basket, though.
Good challenge coming from RR Pogoy.
Wild drive coming from RHJ. Thought he was fouled. Referee's not agreeing. Malik Pope, what confidence will he bring into this ball game? He takes a 3, misses it. RHJ again, they're running at every given opportunity. Pogoy, exit.
Wow.
And scores again.
All about smartness and perfect timing. Cutting the angle of the defender and then exiting on the opposite short corner before triggering his 4th point of quarter 1.
Strong start, running start for TNT. Who will respond? Who will deliver the first bucket? Almost another turnover. Fajardo down low against RHJ. Good help defense late from Kelly. And RHJ is running again. Oftana finishes with the left.
3 stops at least. 3 baskets on the return play. All in the open court. And the anchor? Jefferson.
In terms of points from turnovers, TNT is just second to Northport. They're 4th in fast break points, and they're using all of that speed advantage here in your opening minute. Another turnover for SMB. RHJ pushing. Oftana filling the corner, but he misses on the 3. It's such a big weapon to have an above-average import rebounder in RHJ, also able and willing to start the break and run to the other side as the bench can finally sit down for the Beermen as Orleano score their first bucket of the game.
That's a major adjustment for Coach Leo Austria, putting in Trollano and Chongson as starters, whereas a lot of times, or most of the time, these are 2 players who came off the bench for San Miguel.
CJ using the early ball screen. Drop coverage. CJ attacks it. Comes up short on the layup. Pogoy. Smaller defender to beat. Oh, good luck. That is Pogoy with 6 early points.
Before the double-digit game against Phoenix, he was under double digits in terms of production. The game against Ginebra and likewise against the Firma. But right now has gotten his scoring flow back to help out TNT propel themselves to a 5-point lead.
Controliano, though, will respond once again as he has all the 5 points of San Miguel Beer.
5 points, but more than that, a scoring threat. Hopefully, get the defense of Pope and even Johnson or Fajardo for that matter.
Kelly Williams outside. Miscommunication there as Williams threw it as if Oftana was angling for an outside shot. He was cutting already, but first take another look at this drive with only a smaller Wami Chongson to beat. RR Pogoy attacks early and then attacking the coverage of Kelly Williams.
and not settling for the long ball, instead getting his aggression and attacking the basket and raising his confidence level.
Swarming defense, a triple team on Julmar Fajardo leads to another turnover. RHJ, his first bucket of the game.
And again, a turnover leading to an easy basket on the opposite end. Something that the Beermen have to be worried about, as TNT has outrun and outgunned its last opponent, and the Phoenix Goldmasters and limited them to only 70 points.
Perez asking for a single high. That will be a bump coming from Pogoy, even if the block was clean from RHJ.
TNT forced 23 turnovers against Phoenix, scored 26 points of those turnovers, and you can see the reason why.
Deadly finisher on the break. RHJ can finish with either hand as the first free throw is missed by CJ Perez. And the line has not been a friend of TJ in this entire conference. Coach Ronnie. The annual NBA Watch and Win is back. Watch the live games on NBA TV Philippines, One Sport, and Filipinas Live from Jan 13 to Feb 16, and wait for questions to be asked. And flash on the screen during the breaks. Visit nba.onesports.ph after to send in your answers.
In terms of percentage, his numbers may be down, but Coach Leo is hoping that somehow, when it comes to clutch time, CJ Perez will hit his free throws, and this is red flag time for San Miguel, because even the three ball has been pumped in already by RHJ for a 7-point lead for TNT.
Now they're looking for a straight post up. Instead, Pope takes the jumper and misses it. Again, after the rebound, attacking already is Ronde Hollis Jefferson. He is fouled by Pope, and he will take two.
A lot of pain points to open up the first quarter, courtesy of RR Pugoy. But what about this one? Roliano. Ooh. Oh, giving up that last basket.
And
Free ball.
Coaches will tell you so often that
Don't leave the corners.
and helping from the strong side corner is deadly. Even more so when the import is standing in that corner.
That's why Coach Leo Ostra mentioned this casually, that it's taking time for Pope to familiarize himself with the rest of the PBA landscape. But we'll talk more about that when we come back.
It is 15 to 6, an auspicious start for the TNT. Tropang Giga forcing this early timeout from SMB.
You're still tuned to PBA Rush and the Philippines Live app for the TNT as it's a weekend. Borrow out Coach Sean put the showdown into words. He said TNT versus SMB. This is war. And after their best defensive showing of the conference last game, where they just limited Phoenix to 70 points, Coach Sean highlighted the shift to being selfless that he saw from his men after admitting they were completely lost against Terra Firma, where they depended on individual talent. Against powerhouse SMB, TNT looks to sustain their suffocating defense, and they also want to have another night of balanced scoring as they did last game. Tonight, they would have to do that without their most efficient player, Kim Aurin, who is feeling under the weather. We send our well wishes for now. Back to you, Carlos Cochon.
Thank you so much for that report. As we resume action, CJ Perez slices the defense and hits the finger roll for his first field goal of the matchup. He has 3 points.
After timeout play, something that San Miguel needed to inch closer as TNT, gaining more and more ground, and they're propelling themselves further and further away from San Miguel.
Oh my goodness, what a look from Pogoy, locating Williams to the finish.
After and for Gilmar Fajardo, that was a perfect vertical for Kelly Williams, who also did an extremely good job against Donovan Smith in the last win for TNT.
Roliano, tough layup. Pope can't secure his first basket. That's already 7 points and 7 rebounds in the game for Ronde Hollis Jefferson midway through the first quarter.
And 0 out of 3 start here. Meanwhile, for Malik Pope.
Pope using the ball screen. Sorry, that was RHJ missing the mid-range jumper. 17-8. That's the advantage for TNT. Soliano into the post now to Kelly.
But finally, for Junmar Fajardo, a touch in the block.
Great defense coming from Kelly Williams, forcing the stop. Octana, emergency pass, Nambata. Bob had a hand on it, and the stop is completed by Troliano.
Good effort, good defensive effort coming from Pope.
Bob wanted to go to the Euro. It was well defended, but they will get another crack at it. Bob with the handoff to Jongson. Wami locates his import. Still can't score. Junmar had to be fouled by Kelly.
That's why Moala Tautua is about to come in. Remember, San Miguel had a tough game against Converge. Extended minutes for a lot of key players. What about this play? High in the sky. Fajardo beaten by Kelly Williams.
That's a tough cover. A dribble handoff. And then Kelly Williams is diving to the rim.
17-8.
And you know what? Even without a defender, that's a hard pass to deliver. 1 point. Precision, name of the game for Pogoy in that last delivery.
19 points, 14 rebounds. Nothing out of the ordinary for Junmar Fajardo. But he has been a rock. He has been so consistent. Because of the San Miguel Beermen, all of them playing off of him.
At least in the last 10 years. 8 MVP awards. 11 best player of the conference milestones as well for Junmar Fajardo. Again, play center here.
Only a split though for Junmar. As we have Jason Castro versus Chris Ross. The old rival matched up again here. Pogoy sends it to Eram. Elbow jumper. That shot will be available for him all game long against Fajardo. Oh, they fake the handoff. Pope has it. Wants to go one-on-one against RHJ. Malik goes to the fadeaway. Short.
0 out of 5.
Castro to RHJ. Hollis Jefferson wants another 3. Can't get it this time. Rebound falls to Troliano. Ross is pushing. We've seen this so many times. Posting up as a first threat. Fajardo wants a 3. Will get it.
What can I say about that last offensive sequence? A reversal of roles. Smart play coming from Ross and Fajardo showing us he has developed that long range bomb. Sumali nga ito dun sa 3-point shootout sa mga bigs, diba?
Only the second 3-point shot of Junmar Fajardo here in this conference. He's 2 of 6. Yeah, traveling as goals versus RR Pogoy.
Definitely, TNT trying to step on the face, trying to punish Junmar Fajardo to really try and sprint down and try to wear down the effectivity of Junmar Fajardo all throughout this matchup.
And that posting up, Fajardo shooting, why not? SMB, as it has enabled them to inch closer, bridge the gap here, 17-12. Marcio on the attack, will work on the high looping banker. And that will be a jump between Junmar and RHJ.
What more have we not seen from Junmar Fajardo through the years? Definitely a generation player, but more than that, a perfect example of someone who has really worked hard to be a better version of himself.
Fajardo wins the tap easy. As through fresh off the bench, was slipping away from him. Read the numbers, coach, of Hollis Jefferson. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists.
That's already game-ending stats for a lot of players. He's just getting started. It's a high quality.
Yeah.
High quality reinforcement.
On both ends of the floor.
And they like the consistency.
Castro. Good pass to Eruela. Open from the outside. Tip in. Will work for Boy Era.
Second-year players had a lot to do about that route of a win for TNT. They had 52 points at the bench and at least 9 players hitting a 3-point basket for TNT in that 36-point win versus the Fuel Masters.
They hit 15 triples against the Fuel Masters. And that will be a foul. As Brian Naruela, unfortunately, was left as a tagger for the diving Moto Tua.
Regular starters, Hugh Laster coming off the bench, playing the two-man game, setting up Totua for that downhill move.
19 to 12 is the score. TNT still up by 7 as we have this timeout.
Whenever Whenever rookies match up with Jason Castro, they relish the opportunity of playing against their childhood idol and they put their best foot forward. Case in point, the most recent being Mark Nona eating up with 33 points. Jason takes so much pride in being a mentor, being very generous and giving advice to the new generation. Because he said he was just like them, being guided by the likes of Olson Estela, Will Miller, and Johnny Abarientos. It means a lot to Jason that the young ones now look up to him because he really wants to see them and even help them succeed because it's no longer about him or just his team. For Jason, it is about elevating Philippine basketball. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for that report, Bill. And I've had many conversations, Coach Ronnie, with Jason Castro. And maybe 4 years ago, he said that he will retire in about 3 years. He said when he's not top of his game anymore, he will step away. But working now with the younger talent of TNT, he finds another level of joy when he sees them being successful. That's why he is still here, still wearing the TNT jersey, coming off the bench, yes, but he can still be Finals MVP. That's what he proved in the last Governor's Cup.
Still a high-level player, really, with a different sense of purpose to pay it forward and mentor the younger generation. Point guard.
Two-time at that, Castro.
Two-time.
Blitz. Eram. Misses the layup. Extra possession. RHJ. Second triple of the game.
Meruela getting early minutes because he played really well. Actually, most of them, if not all of them, played well against Phoenix.
Interesting ball screen defense. It looks like SMB will be focusing their efforts on stopping Jason Castro from creating. They want him to give the ball up early. Lassiter looking for his options. Sautua pops out. Mo on the drive. Oh, he was smothered, covered by RHJ as they force another stop. Hollis Jefferson pushing. Jason goes baseline and on. Touchdown!
To get that ball as deep as possible, you flatten the defense, and then you allow the man down the middle to sprint down. Perfect execution of early offense. At the helm, Jason Castro. Defensively, it was Jefferson for TNT. Biggest lead for TNT at this stage, perhaps?
Yep, 10 points. And turning the ball over. Horrible idea, especially against a team as good as TNT. That will be a foul against Brian Naruela, bumping Jericho Cruz, who will now get an N1 opportunity.
No relief job so far for Junmar Fajardo. San Miguel pining for a win. That's why the second unit players, if you can call them as such, for San Miguel, they have to be productive, highly efficient to be able to overturn what was once a 10-point disadvantage.
Coach Cotreyes will adjust to the size of the San Miguel Beermen, setting in Octana and Glenn Cobontin. The NBA's mid-season classic is here. Watch the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend live from 10:15 to 17 exclusively on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, RPTV, and Filipinas Live. It's going to be one awesome weekend. Cruz scoring the first points from the bench of SMB, cuts their deficit down to 7. Hand off to Octana now. Almost another turnover, but it will be last touch by Glenn Cobontin. 44 seconds left here in the first quarter.
And not too many players can execute this boomerang pass to deep left corner. Even that early feed earlier to Poyera.
Miss coming from Marzio Lassiter. RHJ continuing to attack, leaves it for Castro, will not rush it. Could go for a 2-for-1 if they attack early enough. Another pass off Tana, one dribble, pull up jumper, no. But you could not have asked for a better look, coach, for Calvin.
Wide open. Another good setup job coming from Jason Castro.
TNT with one foul to give. Should they want to give it up? Oh, miscommunication almost. Pardo catches. He lost the ball. Oh, they say it's going to be 2 free throws.
If there's something that TNT has tried to make it difficult, the entry passes to Junmar Fajardo, that's one. They also denied early good scoring of Sorwami Chongson, two of the top scorers for San Miguel in the 44th team versus Converge.
Wala na, 27. 17.
And this is the case that Coach Chotres and Jason Castro were trying to talk about. They were saying that, yes, it was a foul, but Junmar was fouled on the catch. But the referee Noel Kilingen deciding that he was already in the act of shooting as Fajardo gets a friendly bounce to the first.
Only the second touch for Junmar Fajardo, total of 4 points prior to that free throw conversion.
Castro. Oh, throws it up. Oh, God, a 4-point shot for the player.
I told you. Not yet done. Far from being done, continues to be one of the best, especially not winding down, or we talk about winning time.
And then all of a sudden, TNT is fine with those 2 free throws from Junmar Fajardo because on the other side, Jason Castro had enough time to launch a shot from way downtown. He rarely attempts from 4, but this one he had to beat the buzzer. TNT dominant here in the first 12 minutes of action. 12 is their lead as well, 31-19 against S&B.
Logging. I love it.
Let's look back at SMB's last game. It was during Junmar's time on the bench that the Fiber Xers were able to mount a comeback in the end game. And while most coaches might get frustrated at the collapse that led to their opponent's run, according to Coach Peter, the coaches processed it as a blessing in disguise. Not only were they able to keep Junmar fresh for the end game, but they were able to spread out their offense and prove that they can make things happen even without Abay, no matter how hard.
It was uncomfortable to have Junmar Fajardo sitting out 5 minutes in that game against the Converge Fiber Xers, but what matters most was they were able to hang on to the advantage and win that crucial game. We're here in the second quarter. Jason Castro overshoots it as he had a much taller defender in Moto Tua. Cruz is with Fajardo, Ross, Lassiter, and Coach.
Website. Bago. 30-14 pa rin, no? Di Pilipinas Live, nagloko na. Yeah, 33-25. Talaglang ano. There in a take a nap now.
Good development here for the white shirts. Points off the bench.
Yeah.
Coming into play. That will be a total of 14 points from the second unit. Majority of them coming from Derek Cruz and Moala Tautua.
All of those points, 8 and 6 for those two players. Marcio will have the opportunity to add to those second unit points now.
The Lassiter giving Calvin Oftana a dose of his own medicine. Normally, it's Calvin Oftana who does that to his defenders. All-time best in terms of three-point baskets made.
Marcio converts on the first free throw again, a different role for him coming off the bench as Troliano has gotten the starting role. Coach Leo Austria, our Pilipinas Live poll question, who will have more rebounds? Ronnie Hollis Jefferson or Malik Pope? Download and register for free from the Play Store or the App Store. Subscribe to Pilipinas Live.
Multiples of three. The Southern Miguel has scored here in the second quarter. 3 3-point baskets and 3 free throws converted. Just like that, only behind by a couple of points.
The two teams of this caliber matched up. It'll be a game of runs. Now it's a turn of SMB to make some noise. Oftana goes to the step back. Top shot over the defense of Lassiter.
Top shot indeed for Calvin Oftana. One of the top 3-point shooters, one of the leading scorers throughout this conference.
Only a 2-point shot though, put on the line. A response from Marcio.
6 points in 2 possessions. And again, multiples of threes for San Miguel in the last 15 points. Or 3-point basket.
Now posting up. Oftana forces it up. Tippin is there.
Definitely the next factor in the last win by TNT over Phoenix. Conference best in terms of points, perhaps for Galinato.
Finally, a bucket coming from Malik Pope. First make in 7 tries for the SMB import.
Coach Lane will take that, something that they need.
Too quick for his own good there was RHJ. Marcio for 4. Can't convert. Back tap connects to Cruz. Jericho asking for a ball screen. Cruz, hook pass. Extra pass to Pope. And now Tautua will fake. Tautua launches and hits another three.
Remember you were saying earlier, Hard arrested for 5 critical minutes against Converge. Yet they pulled through. Are we seeing a reprise of the effort coming from the second unit? Or now ahead. So San Miguel up 2 against TNT.
From a 12-point deficit to a 2-point lead. And they did it quickly here. In your second quarter, we have a timeout, an early one for TNT. Moto Tua, the leading scorer of the San Miguel Beermen, now doing damage off the bench with 11 points.
Not bad for Big Mo. Maybe because he embraced you earlier before the game.
Anchored on 3-point shooting. He is perfect from downtown at 3 of 3, powering this 17-4 run.
Prior to that explosion from the three ball, it was 1 of 6 for 16% only heading to this game.
Boboy can hit the counter, and now SMB with momentum on their side. Marcio goes to Ross. He wants to join the party, and he will.
Second unit explosion. Just like that, down 12, up 5. And that is a 17-point turnaround.
In 5 minutes, coach, that's how quick they did it. Smart tap coming from Boboy, but he will run out of space to try and save it and complete the stop. But at least he was able to deflect that basketball and make sure they can defend.
And all this happening with Junmar Fajardo on the bench.
Also, we nullify a 3-point conversion coming from Moto Tua, and he was moving.
It's okay, Mo. I like. It's okay, Mo. I like
He
your.
was still hanging on to it.
I like your shoes.
So from 11 down to 8 points in total for Mo. I'm sure he'll get another 3 earlier. He deserves it because of that make. Back to a 2-point game now for SMB 39 to 37. Jericho has also been hot off the bench, but he cannot maximize that attempt. Nambata to RHJ. Now Oftana. 10 seconds to score here. Oftana takes the 3, makes it.
Numbers may not be that high for Oftana in their last win. But when the need arises, that is where Oftana normally plays his best.
Oftana takes the lead back for TNT, but they will give up a foul here. Bump coming from Pagoy.
Main force of the bench. Lassiter, Chris Ross, Jericho Cruz, and of course Moala Totua. Perhaps close to 20 bench points among these 3 players. Maybe even more.
Totua down low. Fouled. And he will again have to re-earn those 3 points that were taken away from him by the buzzer. As he's on the line now for 2.
Pressure continues for Big Mo. That's a good sign. Having precious minutes for Junmar Fajardo.
We now have a report from Bell.
Moto Tua has been a game changer. He admitted that he knows it's not normal to consider him as one of the initial scoring options on the floor, but what is even more odd is to not get scoring from an import. So for Mo, he takes this personally and believes there are so many opportunities he can take advantage of to get a few points of his own. And for him, it is safe to say that when there are just too many holes left by the import, he will take it upon himself to play like an import. Sending it back to you.
Thank you so much for that report, Ms. Bell. And he is definitely doing that kind of damage as he has 10 points in the game. Eram, fouled by Chris Ross. What we're noticing here, Coach, is when it was Junmar Fajardo involved in the high ball screen, everyone from TNT who was involved in the situation will attack. But as you noted earlier, when they got switched over, when Jason Castro was being defended by Mo Tautua, Mo had 2 stops. And now there's no problem with him stepping out and being mobile enough to cover the guards using the ball screen.
We also have to factor in that Chris Ross has been the one guarding Poyera the last few minutes. So another part of that defensive scheme by Coach De Austria.
PBA fans, mark your calendars for a special edition of Starting Lineup featuring 3 generations of Barangay Ginebra's floor generals. Watch Artie Barrientos, Charlie Thompson, and Eddie Tenorio share their journey with Ginebra in a 2-part spotlight series on Tuesday and Thursday, January 28th and 30 on One Sports Plus, and Filipinas Live. Specialty of the house, a steal coming from Ross. A pass from Marcio, the 3 won't work. So to tapped it over, but to the wrong man. TNT spreads the floor off. Burns the defense with another three.
Twice he was sent back, not just to be an outside sniper, but likewise to be a better defender. Down earlier, losing traction of that lead, now ahead by 4. Aided to the efforts of Calvin of Tan.
Tautua being defended by Era, met by the help defense, forced to a miss. RHJ with the board. Era will not force it. Hollis Jefferson versus Pope. Now it's Tautua defending RHJ. What a find inside! Oh, from the bottom. Era too deep there, got blocked by the rim.
Promoted opportunities, one for Nambatak, another for Era, to give TNT a larger lead.
Pope will try from downtown.
Sure.
That's way
Oh
short.
my goodness. O yun.
45 to
Saan nyo ba
41,
nakuha
a
yung
4-point
import nyo?
advantage for TNT. Nambatak given space, he takes the 4, no. Pope with the board.
Come on.
Ross wants to post up against a smaller defender, forcing the defense to react. Foul given up by Nambatak.
And what you can see right now is massive experience by these champion players. Lassiter, Jericho Cruz, Chris Ross, and even Kuala Tautua for that matter.
But it was noticeable that the unit with Tautua, Ross, and Lassiter defended so much better than the starters of SMB, Coach Ronnie.
That's correct. And they have limited TNT to only 14 points in the second. If not for the outside explosion of Tana, definitely second quarter production would even be fewer here for the Black Shirts.
See now, if the first unit can continue the momentum built by their off-the-bench players, that's a miss coming from CJ, and now TNT will try to run again. That's a foul.
And this is
by Nambatak on CJ.
This is a starting unit for the starting unit of San Miguel that was outscored by the starting 5 of TNT, 23 against 14. The second unit players of the Beermen powering San Miguel back. But of Tana, RHJ able to hit TNT back again to disadvantage.
Kelly with a speed advantage, the layup, and the shot again. He gets it back. Kelly misses with the left hand, but there's a foul.
But the 4 layups missed. The last few sequences, even if they get that ball to the restricted zone, SMB dodging a bullet as TNT missed multiple times and consecutively as well.
Kelly on the line now for 2. Opportunity to add on to this 4-point lead. Kelly misses to the right.
Chance to earn the twice to beat edge. What a move by Machine Gun Kelly.
Crossover but couldn't finish. RHJ with the tap will get them an extra possession. Kelly will sink the back end of his free throws. Now a timeout will be requested by the San Miguel Beermen. They're down by 5, 46-41 with 3:52 remaining in our first half.
I think it's very remote at this point because even if we win our last 2 games, which is not a certainty, even if we win our last 2 games, we will tie most probably with Northport and Eastern, who we both lost. So outcoming in that situation, right? So the best thing we can do is just focus on what's in front of us. And right now, that's San Miguel on Sunday. We have no illusions about San Miguel at all. We know how strong that team is. Especially now, they're fighting for survival. So we have to be prepared for a real huge war on Sunday.
Well, that was the interview from Coach Chotrias after their last win against the Phoenix Fuel Masters. One of those things that he mentioned, no longer true anymore, as Eastern suffered a loss in our first game. And speaking of fighting for survival, that win was of survival instincts coming from the Magnolia Chicken Templados hot shot.
Blowing out Eastern.
And now we have a two big lineup for Coach Chot, Eram, and Kelly Williams on the floor at the same time. Pogoy misses from the outside.
Octana scored 8 of the 15 second quarter points for TNT. Meanwhile, the second unit for San Miguel, 20 of their 22 coming from the guys such as Tautua, Lassiter, and Chris Ross.
DJ drives, gets bumped, and he will take two.
DJ needs to be more aggressive, really. Look for his shots. Try to get to the basket, or perhaps get to the line more often, because they need him to produce as much as possible to open up the space for Fajardo to operate in the post block. Another scoring threat, perhaps a floor spacer as well, in Wami Chongson.
DJ has been sub 70 from the line.
Quite low for his standards.
You can see the disparity in the output of these two imports. Again, RHJ, his fourth conference with TNT. Malik Pope, his fourth game with SMB.
And he's also the fourth import for San Miguel in the conference. Contrast of that night and day, we talk about production and impact between Jefferson, Malik Pope.
They involve Kumar once again in the ball screen, and then they swing it to the other side. RHJ attacking the defense of CJ. Lots of contact there, and there was a foul finally called, sending RHJ to the line.
The defense provided by Wami Chongson to try and derail the cross matchup between Jefferson and CJ Perez, but too powerful was Jefferson in that last move.
And he really baits you into fouling him because he can hang me there. He can swing both elbows in either direction.
And they can go left and right
Yep.
as well. It's a difficult matchup for anyone.
But a 70% free throw shooter, but as of late, he has been improving drastically.
There was one game and he shot perfect at 13 of 13.
13 of 13, yep. Back to a 5-point lead now for TNT. Oh, a sorry miss coming from Junmar. And now TNT will have the numbers. Kelly, extra pass to RHJ now from Pogoy. Nambata with a speed advantage. Pull-up jumper, no.
Junmar Fajardo holding on to his left wrist.
Junmar now posting up against Hollis Jefferson. The bounce pass to Trollano. He was the first player to score, and he adds to his tally 7 points in total after scoring the first 5 for SMB.
It's definitely trimmed down. Looking fitter, moving faster, and definitely one of their top scorers as of late.
Import versus import now. 8 to work with on the shot clock. Nambata kicks it out. Hollis Jefferson for 3. Hits another one.
My goodness. 18 points for Jefferson right here in the first 20.
51-45, 3 triples now for Hollis Jefferson. Great toss coming from Perez, misses the layup, and the rebound was mishandled by Junmar. Pogoy changes his mind about attacking. Where is this play going to develop from for TNT? Again involving Junmar in the ball screen, but the shot was left short. Fajardo ahead. Oh, erases the puck and scores on the bucket.
A 3-point shooter, a fast break finisher. What more can you ask for? Against conversion, that behind the back move. So impressive. Although he has not gotten usual scoring numbers, we cannot just overemphasize the value of a Junmar Fajardo.
Pogoy momentarily open. He burns it from downtown. What a find from Ronde Hollis Jefferson.
3-point shooting has been huge as to why TNT was able to regain that lead that they lost earlier in the quarter.
Fajardo with the finish, but look at this hang time pass. Somehow, some way, RHJ found the open man, and RR Pogoy sank it from downtown, extending their lead back up to 7 points, 54 to 47. Taking a look now at our team standings, coach. Because of that Eastern loss, they fall to 7-4 with NLEX left in their schedule, which means that TNT can still chase Northport. Their best finish is at 9-3. And Meralco can also be involved in that situation.
So little by little, team source we could get to 9 wins. We're getting fewer.
Only 3 now. Northport,
Right.
Meralco, and TNT. Again, the numbers, you're not yet thinking about what you need from the other teams or the quotient. All you're focused on is what you can do to help yourself move on to the next stage with an advantage possibly for TNT. And the top 2 teams will get a twice to beat advantage in the quarterfinals against the bottom 2 teams in the qualifiers, which means number 7 and 8. And you might need a twice to beat advantage because SMB will finish either number 7 or 8 if they make it at all to the quarterfinals, Coach Ronnie.
That's why this is a must-win situation for them. Either an outright playoff berth or a possible tie for the 8th spot. Oh, they needed that. Alikpo has to be present, has to be more active. They have to feel his presence throughout the rest of the remaining quarters.
Malik Pope, 4 points in the game as we have a 30-second timeout. This time on the side of TNT. They lost their 12-point lead, but now slowly try to build it back. Coach, a lot of the offense coming from Malik Pope in the third quarter versus Converge, right, was created by CJ Perez. And we saw that connection once again, even if it will not be an assist from TJ as Pope missed the first shot. Someone else has to set up Malik Pope. He's not the one-on-one type of player,
as we clearly see. And again, we take a peek at the team standings and where all the teams are. Play dates are just about 2 after tonight's doubleheader, and 4 games remains.
Coach, Rainer Shine, SMB, and next Magnolia can all be tied at 6 and 6.
Correct.
And then up top, Northport, TNT, Meralco can all be tied at 9 and 3. And then who knows what's going to happen in between? So really no guarantees.
No,
just
not
yet.
really. The only thing certain is that there will be only 2 play dates at the end of the LM. And 4 games remaining before we await possible playoff match.
And we will only break the deadlock at the 8th and 9th spots with a knockout game. Everything else will be decided by a PBA quotient. That will be the foul to give. Coming from Chris Rosales. As he is defending Jason Castro here in the final seconds of the second quarter. Castro ended the first quarter with a 4. Jason steps out. RHJ attacks the defensive roll. And taps it home.
Too many cross matches. Jefferson, Nixon, Miguel Pay. Over 20 points in the first 2 quarters.
Already a double-double for Ronde Wallace Jefferson. He's doing it on offense, on defense, from the 3-point range, and hurting the rim as well with his slam dunk. Jefferson, after leading TNT to winning the back-to-back championships in the PBA Governor's Cup, wants to win one as well here in the Commissioner's Cup. They're going up against the defending champion San Miguel Beermen. But RHJ started off firing 22 points, 13 boards, 5 assists, a couple of steals, has only missed 1 shot from downtown. An outstanding performance in the first half.
Very ready for the war. As Coach Chot has put this matchup. Those numbers will tell you it's not yet done, as this game is far from over.
7-point lead for TNT, 56-49, heading into our halftime break. Last year yung New Year resolution ko, di na magastos. Pero, hirap eh. Dami ng anak, parang lumaki yung gastos. So, ayun, mas lumala yung gastos. This year, ganun din. Mag-ingat ulit sa gastos. Mas pipiliin yung tamang bayarin kaysa dun sa mga hindi kailangan. So, yun yung sa akin.
Yung goal ko last year na gusto kong magawin is yung mga kinakain ko. Gusto ko healthy na yung mga kinakain. Pakonti-konti, kaya anuhin ko ulit ngayon. Siguro yun pa rin. Maging healthy, saka mag-weights na palagi.
A New Year's resolution, yeah. It was don't drink soda. But I broke it like 3 days later. Because they had a Dr. Pepper, and I haven't had Dr. Pepper since I was in the U.S. And I seen it at Espinar, so I have to get it. New Year's resolution is to meet someone new every day. That's what it is.
My resolution last year was to eat healthier. In a way, from eating McDonald's, I'm eating Jollibee. My New Year's resolution this year is to become a better teammate. Just being there for my teammates whenever they need me, whether it's emotionally, physically, whichever way possible. So. And by eating healthier, to be a better player.
Di na eh. Pero ngayon, yung New Year resolution ko is, di ako magbabago. para walang ibabago eh. Yun nga yung New Year resolution ko, wala akong babaguhin. Kasi maganda yung takbo eh. Maganda naman yung takbo, so walang babaguhin.
Kaya ganadong-ganado magkaroon.
Speaking of ganado, ito mo naman yung pectus ni Stanley Pringle doon. Ito mo naman yung kilos na ito, Coach Archie.
Pinapektos eh. Ang ganda ng kapit ng bola si Ward. Pringle. Yung sinasabi natin eh, di ba?
Rebound Torres. Not enough time for a heat. Cyrus puts it up. Perfectly. To end this third grade. Bitaw na bitaw si Torres doon. Brilliant Kevin. Getting this one out. An injury. Oh! Falling to Paulie on top. Spectacular finish by Janelle.
Or this swimming kasi.
Ooh! Nunu! Getting up there. I-review natin. Don't stop now. Nicholas Newsom. Left-handed kiss the rim. Look at Nunu. Heel. Wow. Things that will make you hate Torres. Love him. He just put him on his profile pic. The 7 games that they've won na nakita natin yung performance nila, Norwood will miss. Kanya pa rin yung rebound. Gabe, nagkawalang paraan. That's a highlight for Norwood, 4 points in the game. Nag-sorry kay Thompson dahil assist sana yun, sabi ni Gabe. Rebound ko na lang. Nonetheless, rain or shine, still gets 2 points and they still
They were together. In the PBA bubble with Matthew Knight. And that basket is good for Calvin Abueva. Nag-flex pa sa harap. Kung saan natin niya kakampi. Except for one foul given to Turkey. Mabilis na tres mula kay Hazul. He gets the N1.
That's why I like him as a player. You know, he's already been there for quite a while. Pero, you know, reliable pa rin ang kanyang outside scoring.
Injured pa itong si Gio. With entry pass. Ooh! Protection from Xavier Lucero.
Jersey pa siya kailangan.
Pokang lalabas para sa pick. Kobe. Shake it big.
That is just pure basketball talent. Diba? The defense was there, pero ginawa niya tubong sargaw. So, kaya ganadong-ganado magkaroon.
Speaking of ganado, ito mo naman yung pectus ni Stanley Pringle doon.
Nag-sargaw. To score underneath.
Bam, from Yang. Injured again. Foul this time. That's a 4-point play opportunity para kay Steven Gitrin. May 3 puntos na para kay Melesio. KO scoops it up, and then another headlock para kay Channel KO. Now,
With stripped of possession on that baseline drive. Dana to the trainer, Dixie Giving space, grounding, wraps it around the voice indicated. What a move!
ano bang hirap yun, ha? Paano siya nalibre pa and was able to get that layup?
Good guy. Nice play. Nice move by Mario.
He's doing exactly what Troy Rosario is doing, and getting those passes.
Rosario. Boy, Eric waiting for nothing. Standing on Rosario. Dancing down the baseline. Chris, crossover. Nice ball right. Got it.
Yun ang magiging problema na sa Miguel. If your big import is not a rim protector, you're going to have to put everything through my shoulder. Which is
Stop. That's a miniature. Good much. Favorite. Oh, what a move. He got it.
oh, you mix it out of the way with just like pumasok. Iba talaga. You know, swerte ko talaga, wala pa si Jules Matapat.
It's your best. Well, look at that. Big strides.
So, you know, when you have all these 20 points, 8 points, it's just one away from matching that total. Ang ganda naman ng galaw. Grabe. Oh, you could see that coming from the outside. George King.
Ganda naman roon para kay Monty. And he finishes through the foul.
You know, it's Christian David to bring up the ball. King. Oh, breaker.
Winston! Whoa! Cross the board! What an angle break! He crowds himself the game!
This is natural position for a PBA player. And this one is the game. Oh, nice reverse.
With a huge Pinoy step again. 59. Ito abante ng Alex Rivera with another step.
Nasaan yung gitna? Walang buha pantay dun sa gitna para kay Richie Rivera. Bring this one out. An injury.
Oh! Falling to Paulie up top. Spectacular finish para kay Janelle. Siguro Policarpio. Paulie attacking. Spins baseline. And wow! Para kay Janelle. He's having himself a game.
Person Miguel.
Kahit yung mga tutukan ayaw mahulog para sa Beermen. Perez? Oh, what a move for CJ.
This guy plays with so much pride. Ayaw na talaga maiwanan ng gusto. Sa kanilang tutunan. Kaya pagbalik niya after sustaining a cut.
And yet another steal for Tolentino. Arvin, iwan kay Navarro. Beautiful fast break execution para sa Batang Pierre.
There's just total domination by North Court.
Babawi kapag nag-turnover. Here's Perez again. CJ. Crisp the deficit to 3. Spectacular performance by CJ Perez. 20-11. Isang lang. Hinahanapan ng paraan at makapuntos na para kay RHJ. 8 puntos na para kay Louis.
Nice effort on the part of Luis Sangalam. He's doing a lot of damage inside the shaded areas. Usapan natin yung depensa. TNT. That is such an emphasis. What a no-look pass coming from Nonoy. And his bucket there coming from Edwards.
Elesio. Takay ng bata. Takay sa bandang kaliwa. Elesio. Hinati yung David Elesio.
You also noticed that the bata came closer to Malesio because he was respecting
Hindi mauhulog para kay Ronde Hollis Jefferson. May oras pa. Elesio, bumasa kay Sanggalang. Extra pass pa. Mapunta kay Edwards. His first basket. The second quarter comes right before the buzzer. Ito po pagkakataw mga puntos. May foul yung execution they wanted. Mark Nonoy.
Bibitaw. Oh! Beat it out. Beat it out. TNT bounce again. Marcono unleashing. Sometimes sa kanilang shot. RJ trying to draw the foul. He made the shot anyway. He'll take it.
Oh, somebody's gone.
The Muses for the layup on the other side. Mabilis. Getting the big the big pass. Layup. Goes up. Score. Another offensive rebound. The time has expired on the period. Brownlee for 4 again. Just a touch short. Oh, Scotty Thompson tipped it off the glass and got it to go. It's just crazy. And look at that. Coach Steve is smiling. Is it because he wanted a call, he didn't get it, or is it because his player is up? I don't know. At the half, the score is 56-49, a 7-point advantage for the TNT Tropang Giga going up against the San Miguel Beermen. We welcome you back to our coverage here on PBA Rush and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pimentoan with Coach Ronnie Magsanok on the call. Coach Ronnie, 3-point shooting should be in favor of TNT, but SMB matched them shot for shot from downtown. But rebounding, second chance scoring, that should be on the side of SMB, but it was TNT that got the edge in the first half. They know what it takes to deal with the other, but the big difference right now is the import matchup. I mean, the numbers are just night and day between Ronde Hollis, Jefferson, and Malik Poe.
Staggering numbers on in favor of Jefferson, but Malik Poe has the rest of the last two quarters to turn things around for himself and the San Miguel Beermen. Throwing also pain points that was in favor of TNT. But all in all, still a good quarter for San Miguel, in spite of the fact that they lost a 39-37 lead. As TNT finished the quarter with a 19-10 run to be ahead at 56-49 heading into the third.
Our halftime stats brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA Fast Break Points. That was the start that TNT needed to get some rhythm, but the bench points, Mo Tautua, Jericho Cruz, Marcio Lassiter, even Chris Ross hitting a 3-point shot, really performing better than their starters by 1 point.
Right. As the starters, meanwhile, for TNT has outshot the starting five for SMB 44-24. So that's the tail of the tape, so to speak. TNT gaining more advantage in terms of statistical departments compared to San Miguel, but it's just a 2-possession lead after the first 24 minutes.
From the bench of TNT, we have JP Aram with 6 points to help out Hollis Jefferson of Nana and Pogoy. On the other side, it's 2 starters and 2 bench players. And the top 4 scorers of Coach Leo Austria. I'm really interested to see if there will be a change in the starters, specifically for the Beermen, as their bench performed much better than the starters. That was where they gained momentum, and TNT gained it back after the return of Junmar Fajardo and Wami Chongson and CJ Antroliano.
But it was really Calvin of Tana who struck the hardest for TNT to be able to turn things around once again in their favor as he scored 8 second quarter points. 2 3-point baskets. Suddenly, they raised a 2-point deficit and were ahead. At the end of the first 2 quarters, Mami Chongson has not scored. CJ Perez limited to 5 points. Let's see what gives here in the third.
We send it over to Bell.
Execution was the emphasis of SMB at the half. As Coach Peter Martin put it, they've been taking bad shots, They've not been making the extra pass, nor have they been maximizing guys that are left open. And because they're taking these bad shots, they've been unable to sprint back, evident in the 15 fast break point disparity. On the other side, Coach Shanti and Espacachaka shared that their men were commended for doing a good job, but it's not enough if they stick to that kind of good for the second. They got kicked by the lift SMB got from their bench. So it's consistency on defense and energy asked from the Tropang Giga. Gentlemen.
Thank you so much for that report, Bell. And the adjustment from Coach Leo Austria, starting out Marcio Lassiter, as he will be assigning him to defend Oftana. Both of them are forcing each other to come up empty on both ends. Nambata goes to RHJ, left unmarked, straight away. Three is good. You cannot leave him open at this stage because that will be his fourth three-point conversion already.
That will be his fifth in 6 attempts.
5 of 6.
Yes.
For
Earlier,
RHJ.
80% that train post has been his domain, at least in this game.
Marcio inside, his pass stolen. And here we go again. TNT on the run. Oftana stretches for the layup. It's a miss. Rare fast break opportunity coming up empty. So it's a counter run on the other side. Easy bucket for Junmar.
Fast break points for San Miguel. A total of 2. Make that 4. And all of those points were scored by Junmar Fajardo.
Smart coming from Kenny Williams. If Junmar Fajardo will score on a fast break layup, Kelly must be the first guy running back to the other side. And he beats Junmar on the run to earn these 2 free throws. The annual NBA Watch and Win is back. Watch live games on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, and Filipinas Live until Feb 16. Wait for the questions to be flashed on screen during breaks. Visit nba.onesport.ph after to send in your answers.
TNT was at 7 of 8, or 87%. After the first 24 minutes, San Miguel, meanwhile, 14 of 16. That's total of plus 7 points from the free throw line.
Backcourt violation. Unforced error coming from SMB. And you have to feel that that was all on Wabi because you did not have to let go of that basketball as a point guard, coach.
He's not getting his usual groove so far. Unforced turnover leading to an empty possession. Chance for TNT to increase this 9-point edge.
Hope was not set up yet. Oh boy, oh that's a tough one. From a turnover to a 3. And Coach Leo wants to talk it out. This is a flat start. Another one for the San Miguel Beermen. An early timeout. Barely a minute and 30 seconds in. And they're already stewing for time. Outside shot connecting for Pugoy, extending their advantage to a dozen once again, 63 to 51. For R.R. Pugoy, it's always crucial to build his confidence early. Against the Phoenix Hill Masters, yes, he was able to chip in late, but that was one of the reasons why they had, against Terapirma, he chipped in late. So that was what led to their loss. But against Phoenix from the start, he was hot. 8 points the first quarter. And now R.R. Pugoy making sure that he stays aggressive, stays constant on the offense for TNT. Quick pass inside. That was a missed coverage. Kenny Williams did not see that Junmar Fajardo was already carving out space inside.
After timeout play, all weight essential. Fajardo delivers. Get down by 10.
And a quick adjustment on the guards with Pugoy missing from deep. Wami Chongson was quickly yanked out of the ball game by Coach Leo Austria. In comes Chris Ross, a much better defender. The pass deflected and stolen by RHJ. Hollis Jefferson on the drive. He was fouled by Ross. He'll take two.
It's all about the killer pace once again here for TNT. And most of the time, they have the numbers, either Silver Fajardo or Malik Pope, not able to sprint down with the road runners here of TNT.
Coach, live ball turnovers. Oh, that's going to be tough.
And you know what? What happened? The inability of Pope to get that ball, even against RR Pugoy. That was tough for Junior Fajardo really to attack from outside going in.
NBA's Midseason Classic is here. Watch the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend. Live from 15 to 17 exclusively on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, RPTV, and Filipinas Live. It's going to be one awesome weekend. Marcio, three-point shot is down.
Dodging a bullet. Could have been another turnover. Marcio Lassiter rescues that play, cuts the lead to 8. Another 3-ball for Lassiter. Voice of the bench has been essential for San Miguel as they try to stay here in the game, as TNT tries to attack to propel themselves further from the grasp of San Miguel.
Other foul against Ross. A little too handsy against RHJ. Will be the third team foul early for the San Miguel Beermen. They go back to that size mismatch. Double team comes. Nambata takes a three. One dribble, pull-up jumper. That bounces home.
It can't happen, that miss jump really. As that's a 6'10 player guarding a 6'1 guard. Force the defender, the secondary defender to help.
But that all happens because SMB is switching on ball screen. They're putting Chris Ross
But it's
on
your
RHJ.
responsibility to defend the primary ball carrier, even in a cross match.
Chris Ross disagreeing with the last couple of fouls called against him. It is 10 for TNT. Still, sends it out to Ross against Nambata. Lassiter from the same spot. This time around. Hollis Jefferson locates Kelly Williams. Dribble penetration. True play up is a miss. SMB trying to get something quick here. What a spin from CJ, and he hits the lift.
CJ Perez needs to be involved offensively. The best way to be able to do that is get him the ball in transition. 7 in the game for CJ Perez, but still an 8-point lead here for TNT.
Nambata uses the screen, splits the double. Oh, Kelly Williams would have had that put back jam down, but there was a foul called already.
That's a double
Fourth
concern.
foul on CJ, their 14th foul as well here in the third quarter.
Just as he made his first basket earlier here in the third quarter.
Nambata takes care of the first free throw. Did not score a single point in the first half as Trujano will check in for CJ.
The ball screen specialist. Already a PBA champion.
Second free throw for Nambata, also good. So quick burst of 4 points for Stingray. Will extend their lead back up to 10, 68 to 58.
12 third quarter points for TNT. 9 so far for San Miguel.
Marcio on the switch. Against a local, you have to attack, you have to score, and that's exactly what Malik Pope does.
And this time is able to get that ball, catch that basketball against a smaller defender and head straight to the basket. Still under 10 points so far for Malik Pope, but at least showing signs of awakening here. San Miguel.
He had his best performance in the third quarter of their last win against Converge. Let's see if he can duplicate that performance versus TNT. Another three for RHJ at short. And there will be a push on Pogoy, causing Lassiter to mishandle the rebound. 68-60 as we send it over to Bell.
You might be wondering why Wami Kyongsun hasn't been seeing his usual minutes tonight. Wami is actually feeling under the weather. He practiced yesterday, but today he just woke up feeling very heavy, coupled with cough and cold. Actually, gentlemen.
That was the reason for the quick substitution.
Even Kim Aurin is not playing today for TNT for that matter.
Ogoy recovers. They will reset. The defense is already there. Kelly, straight away three. No. Battle for the boards. Will be picked up by Ross. Ross now. Locates Trollano. They have 15 on the clock. Hope looking for his options. Junmar settles for the mid-range jumper. No. He's really having trouble with Kelly Williams down low. Could not get himself going in this game. Another three for Popoy. It's good again.
Beats the defense of Trollano. And I believe Popoy has been the most productive local player here in the third. Now, right now, TNT with 15. Popoy has at least 6 third quarter points. And that is at least.
Hope once again matched up against Calvin Oftana. Hope on the attack. 2 buckets for him against Calvin.
Likes that matchup. And again, probably get him more touches at this stage. Junmar has not found his normal scoring well inside the paint.
Bogoy given the baseline. Oh, that is a huge runway for RR, and he scores in the shaded area.
5 points. Great for RR Pogoy against the defense of Trollano.
17 in total for him now.
8 here in the third.
Good catch down low from Junmar. But now look at TNT trying to run quickly, trying to attack early.
Mr. May.
Oftana open, 3-point shot down.
Sir, yes, sir, for the top gun. For the top 3-point shooters in terms of made or makes and 3-point percentage.
Ross attacking baseline, covered, blocked by RHJ. And now the counter run for TNT. Force pass to Pogoy. RR fakes, and he scores.
Massive third quarter production for RR Pogoy. Biggest lead enjoyed by TNT as they have outscored San Miguel 22 against 15 the first 7.5 minutes.
And this has stretched the biggest lead in the ball game for the TNT Tropang Giga, forcing Coach Leo Austria to call his second timeout of the third quarter. This one, a 30-second break, as momentum is now shifted completely on the side of TNT because of the efforts, because of the hot shooting of RR Pogoy. It's a 22-15 quarter in favor of TNT, and we still have 4 minutes 50 remaining, Coach, here in the third period.
RR Pogoy was named as the best player for TNT in their win against Phoenix. Scoring heavily in the first quarter, finishing 12 points. Right now, already with 19 on 8 of 11 shooting, good for 72%.
78-64. San Miguel Beermen will have possession. Jason Castro back in the ball game.
And
Coach,
you know what?
this is the final game of the San Miguel Beermen in the elimination round.
Correct.
If they lose this ball game, all it will take will be either an NLEX win or a Magnolia win in any of their final games to dislodge SMB and make them not qualify for the quarterfinals. So that makes this close to a must-win for the Beermen.
Yes, it is, and they know that by heart. And again, the starting unit of TNT outgunning the starting 5 of San Miguel.
Trollano with a drive as the fast break was empty for TNT. Counter fast break is effective for Trollano.
9 points for Trollano. Starting out his third game for San Miguel.
Oftana trying to elude the defense of Trollano. He swings it over to the top. High ball screen once again. Castro turns the corner. What a pass! But Eram blows the easy bucket. And they're attacking Junmar Fajardo on that single high as often as they can. 3.5 left in the third. Cruz draws a foul from Nambatak, and that will send. Oh, it's before the shot attempt. Only the second team foul of TNT.
Jericho Cruz was a part of that second unit brigade, together with Moana Totua,
yeah.
Chris Ross, and Sue Lassiter that helped San Miguel raise a double-digit deficit and take the lead at 39-37.
So now TNT trying to readjust their defense with the personnel that's on the floor for SMB because I mean this is a very tall lineup, Coach. Pope, Tautua, and Fajardo all in at the same time. Pope now starting to hum as he has 10 points in the game, 6 here in the third quarter.
Correct. All inside. And that's a good sign.
Oftana could not drain the three. It looks like Oftana will exit the matchup for the time being. Income for Glenn Cobuntin. Not a bad idea coming from Coach Leo because he saw that in the couple of times that there was a switch on D. Pope found it easy scoring against the defense of Oftana.
We have to try something different.
Why not to put him there permanently at the three? As this is still a 10-point lead, 78-68 for TNT. Timeout requested with 3 minutes and a second remaining in your third quarter. Back inside the Inares Center in Antipolo as we continue to celebrate the 40 greatest players. Freddy Ubaldi, of course, part of the first 25.
One of my favorite players, of course, very kind-hearted, dear Freddy, and look at the accomplishments, one milestone after another. The former Mapuo Cardinal, by the way. Mahusay na pakabait.
One of those 40 greatest beside me right now, Coach Ronnie Magsa. That's Chris Ross. Misses from the outside. He tried to save it, but he was already stepping out of bounds.
Three-point shooting was a key factor in that second quarter fight back for the Beermen, something that's missing here in the third for them, as they have accounted for only 19 third quarter points after a 30-point production in the second.
Batak with a speed advantage, turning the corner. The pass lands with Castro. Extra pass to the corner. Cobuntin. This is from deep. Great setup. Just could not find the bottom of the net. And this is a very tall lineup coming from SMB. They will push their advantage in the shaded area. Double team comes, and there will be a foul against Cobuntin. TNT not yet in penalty. Again, expect the San Miguel Beermen to try to go inside once again to Pope. Later, as he subbed out by Don Troliano. Referee Janina Candra saying that there was a hook on the arm coming from Cobuntin. And now Cruz, he attacks, he is blocked by Eram. It will stay on the side of SMB. And with that substitution coming from Coach Leo Austria, Calvin Oftana will now re-enter the contest, replacing Nampata for Coach Sean.
Now he has the height advantage over Jericho Cruz in this matchup.
Oliano playing cat and mouse with this defender. That pass deflected, and that will be way too late. Coming from Tautua, that play went nowhere for the Beermen.
Good defensive sequence here for TNT. From the top defensive units. Last conference where they won the Commissioner's Cup, or the Governor's Cup, all the way here in the Governor's Cup.
TNT top 3 in points allowed, right behind Barangay Ginebra and Eastern. Limiting San Miguel to only 68 points after a sandwich, and that will send SMB into the penalty. The foul was also whistled on the act of shooting, so Jason will take 2.
It has enough foot speed to get into the restricted zone of a two-man game.
And the battle for TNT and Jason Castro is to limit his minutes as much as possible in the elimination round to help preserve those legs, which in the Governor's Cup led to a finals MVP performance coming from the Blur.
Vintage Jason Castro at his best.
5 points in game for Jason as he missed back end of his free throws.
What about that 4-point basket to end the first quarter? Delivered by Jason Castro.
Repost for Junmar. He gets it deep and he scores.
Time to work for Junmar Fajardo. It was the best feeder for Junmar. Definitely